I could see that still many of you people are missing. 12 more members are missing. We, okay, fine. We'll get started now. All right, today what we will do is we'll continue with the Pandas part. The Pandas is another package. It's a freeware that is available as part of Python. It's a open source, okay? You can do slicing and dicing with Pandas package. What do you mean by slicing and dicing? You can subset the data. For example, your customer has given huge amount of data. Okay, let me record this. Okay, the recording is done. Okay, the customer has given you huge amount of data. So you need to sometimes what will happen is not sometimes, most of the times, the data are not available in a single file. The data are available in multiple files. We need to consolidate all the files into a single file, and then we need to proceed with performing the data analytics, which is nothing but conducting data exploratory analysis. By doing so, you will get to know the insights. You will get to know the insights. With the insights, you can come up with some kind of action plans. Okay, that insights may help you to better plan your resources, better plan your warehouse, warehouses. Okay, so how much amount units that you need to keep in your warehouses, and also where you need to what categories, line items that you need to stock up more, which one you need to stock up less. Okay, so these insights are really helpful. With that insights also, you can decide what kind of features, the columns that are helpful in terms of predicting your model's outcome variable. Okay, let me see if I can complete everything tomorrow. We'll start with the data science part. Okay, and NLP part we will continue from next week. Anyhow, we will see to that how it goes in today's session. Okay, so what I will do is I'll start with some data set. See, in Pandas there are two types of the objects are there. One is the series, another one is the data frame. Okay, most of the time we play around with the data frame only, because in the data frame you can store any type of data in it. Okay, you can store multiple columns, and each column can have different data type, and you can combine multiple data frames into a single data frame. You can perform SQL-like joins, like inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join. All the SQL-like joins you can perform with Pandas. So Pandas is an extension of NumPy package. So we explored about NumPy package. Using NumPy package, we have seen it how to create arrays, a matrix, and so on. But creating arrays and matrix is fine, but is it really helpful in terms of joining multiple data set? So that is not possible. If you want to perform left outer join, right outer, it is possible, but you need to write lines and lines of code. If you perform, if you have any mechanism or any package, if that is available in order to perform SQL-like operations, like left outer join, right outer join, and group by performing aggregations based on more than one columns, right? So everything is possible with Pandas. With NumPy, it is not possible. It is possible, but you need to write lines and lines of code. It takes a lot of time. Okay, so that's the reason why there is a gentle name. McKinney. I think he's the one. He was the one working in one of the data analytics projects in the past. He found a lot of challenges in terms of working with NumPy package to perform data analysis, time-based analysis. If he wants to perform, we found a lot of challenges, again, performing aggregations and joining multiple data set. He found a lot of challenges. He himself developed a package called Pandas. Now we are simply going to use the package developed by him. So this package gives a lot of flexibility in terms of performing or conducting exploratory data analysis. Okay, like in the last session, we have seen it, the data visualization package like Seaborn, everything. The Seaborn package, the Seaborn, and one second, let me just. I think I closed it mistakenly. The Seaborn packages are helpful because you can combine the data frames, Pandas data frame with Seaborn package. Okay. So I'm going to open up a fresh notebook. Yes, Swarna, we will take a look at TensorFlow later point in time, because when I cover the machine learning model, that point in time we'll discuss about TensorFlow. Okay, TensorFlow is also, that package is one of the important packages that we will discuss it as part of training the model, machine learning models. Okay, at this moment I start with importing the NumPy package. RE, what is RE? RE stands for regular expression. Any of regular expression. This is really a beautiful package using which you can do a lot of text cleaning. In the case of NLP, natural language processing, and the Chat GPT also, right? They do a lot of data cleaning, everything based on the queries that are whatever we type it. Behind the scene, it cleans up the data, and then it the algorithms can make sense even though we make some typo when we type anything, any queries. Okay, typo in the sense typing mistake. You might be wondering why RE comes into picture. That we will see it later. Anyhow, import pandas as speedy. And what other packages? Yeah, some operating system related packages, something like import OS, and from I'm going to use something like IPython. This one may be strange one um, for our today's topic. Still, import image. Oh, yeah, so rest of them we will see it later as and when required. We'll proceed with using them. Okay, run. It's being executed. In the meanwhile, in the subsequent cell, we'll start load the data sets. Okay, here I just type the load the data set. Okay, there is an issue with this one. This one requires some kind of treatment. In the sense, we need to find out the cause for that. That will take time. So I'm going to select Markdown. And here I'm going to give a data set name as DF, data frame, using pd.read CSV, pd.read underscore CSV. Here I have something like sales W05 dot CSV. Separator equal to the comma. You need to specify. It's a comma separated one. Let us see if this works. There is an issue here. And if you scroll down here, UTF-8 codec cannot decode type X. There is a the file type problem here. What for this? I'm going to use another package called import char det. Here I'm going to write a function, find encoding, f name, something like that will give, and then r underscore file is equivalent to open f name, comma, read and yeah, open the file with the read access, and yeah, I'm going to use a function called read function, and result is equivalent to I store. You don't worry about this step, okay? And this is a little bit related to the operating system kind of thing, okay? File or underscore file, and here, okay, char encode, encoding, the file type, you need to specify the encode, whether the Unicode or something like that. Okay, result is encoding. Okay, encoding. I just say, because now the recent version they made a lot of changes. Char encode, char encode, and here I'm going to use yeah, encoding is equivalent to okay, the return char encode. Here we need to call this function, isn't it? So here my encoding, I just say my encoding is equal to the find encoding. Find encoding. Sorry, find underscore encoding, right? Encoding. For this file, find out the encoding type. Because in the real world scenario, you might be using different types of files. And for, the encoding type will vary from one file to another file. So what is encoding? For example, in the case of Windows, for in Windows related files, it has some encoding, okay? And for other files, you have different types of encoding types are available. It's kind of a, it's kind of a type of the file, okay? You just think that way. Encoding is equivalent to my encoding. So this function will dynamically find out for any given file what is the encoding type. So here char date is not defined. Okay, char date is not defined, right? Sorry, this one, the spelling mistake. Not char date, it's char date. Also, you can do Googling. In the Google, go and search the type of, give me the different types of encoding for a CSV file or exe files, okay? Excel files. Here, something about Windows related files, you can use Windows -1252, something like that. But I don't remember other thing. Let us first wait and see whether this one works, or else we will hard code the value directly. Okay. So hard coding is not the best practice. So this function, with the help of this function, we are finding out what type of file is that. Is that Unicoding or Windows 1252 or ISO type of file? Once it finds out the type of the file, it will get stored here. This one, I'm using it as part of my read underscore CSV function. In this function, the third argument is encoding. Encoding is the option, okay? Look here there are no error, very good. So we, on the right side, so on the right side of the equal sign, I've used the my encoding because this is the one holding what type of file is that, okay? If you wanted to see that, you just check it out here, my encoding. So Windows 1252. Either you can copy paste it directly, but that is not the right way, because once you develop your script like this, you are going to share the notepad with other users, or you are going to deploy it in other environment. Maybe the files every month, whatever you receive it, it will not be same, at different files. So this is week 05 or week 06, week 07 files, the encoding type will be different. But once you write a common function like this, it will be dynamic. Even if you give any type of file, Windows 1 to 5 to ISO kind of encoding, it takes care of it automatically. Okay. And then next, what we will do is we will check the data type. Okay, what are the data types for each columns? So we can see that these are the data types are available. And if you think once you find it, and if you want to squeeze this, collapse this output, you can click on it here, it will get collapsed. And if you want to see it again, you can click on it here, it will see it. Okay, so you need to click on right next to this output here. Okay, out 7, you can click on it here. Okay, it will get so that your file will be, notepad will be very compact. You can review it quickly, what commands that you used it, what are the, in what sequence you did it, right? To refer that, it will be helpful. What are the things that you exploded? Next one is we have something called describe function is available. And here what I do is I'm going to use df dot describe function. I'm going to use it. This is the one gives you the 6-number summary and all. Okay, the all the things. So mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, first quartile, third quartile, median, and count. Okay, each column. For the numeric columns, it gives you this information. For obviously, for categorical column, you cannot find out standard deviation, minimum, maximum, and all, isn't it? So for numeric columns, the describe function gives us the 6-number summary. So here minimum, maximum, the first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, 3 plus 4, 5, and standard deviation 6, 7, right, including count. It gives you everything here. Or if you wanted to check just a specific thing, for example, you want to view we have a category column, right? So can't I use, yes, I will just check that. So now 1 second, category dot describe. So count how many number of records are there, 25,001, and how many unique values are in the category column, 3. And the top one is office supplies, and frequency is 9,882. Okay, even for categorical column you can use describe, but by default when you use a describe function for any data frame, it gives you the 7-number summary for the numeric columns. But you can use it for the categorical column. But when you use the categorical column, obviously it will not, the standard deviation, minimum, maximum are not applicable. But it will give you the distinct values. How many distinct values? For example, here df dot category dot unique. I think unique is not available. Press tab. Once you type dot followed by this, you type tab. Yeah, unique is available. Good, right? So you have unique. And yeah, let me just try the unique. Yeah, unique followed by that, you need to give the open and closed parenthesis. This means it is a function. Okay. So in category column, we have 3 unique categories are there. They are selling, this customer is selling different products under these 3 categories only. Okay. And also it gives us the data type for the categories. Object means string data type. Okay. Next, what we will do is we will go and check how can I select specific column. Okay. So how do I select the columns in Pandas? You can use a dot notation to select the column. Usually what we do, you use the square bracket to slice the data from a data set. Okay. That is what we discussed in the previous session also. But I did not discuss in detail. Okay. I agree that. And for example, you want to check, you want to select only the specific column. What I will do is, here we have city column is there. Sorry, here why my mouse is not working. Just give me a second. Df dot data frame dot the column name. Followed by that, you can give the name of the column directly here. The column name is city here. So here, how do I query a specific column in a data frame? This is how we can query. So in the city, what are the columns are there? what values are there in the city, right? So 0, 1, 4, in between dot, dot, etc. And the last one it shows, okay? If you want to print entire thing, we have some set command using which we can print entire thing. That we will see it later, okay? So how do I select the values from a specific column? One second, I will just put it in a text one here. So you can type the column name followed by the data frame name, or else you can use the square bracket, okay, to select the columns from the data set, okay? Or you can use the square bracket, okay? So either you can use this way, or followed by the data frame name, use a square bracket. Square bracket, when you specify, that means that is a slicing, okay? We have used the square bracket in list, and even in the case of what is that, list and yeah, so other things, right? So list, we have used it. Even in the case of arrays and matrices, we used it to slice the specific value, subset of the column, okay? So in this case, I can specify the column name city directly here. So here, yeah, you need to specify it in quotes. Start with inside the square bracket, you need to specify the column enclosed by the either the single quote or double quote. Okay, you can do it this way. And if you wanted to find out the number of, see here in this case, in the previous case, in the category column, we have find out how many number of distinct values are there. So we have in total 25,001 record is there, but out of which, in the specific category column, how many unique values are there? It doesn't mean if I have 20,000 records are there in my data set, I have 25,000 category, isn't it? I have only 3 categories, but the same categories repeated here and there, okay? So, and again, I wanted to know in the category, in each category, how many number of records are there, how many transactions happen. We have something value counts. So value counts dot value underscore counts. Look here, in office supplies, 9,882 transactions are happened. That means now I know that many number of transactions, invoices or orders raised. Okay, orders raised by the customers. With this, we can find out. So value counts. With value counts, it gives us the count, number of counts we can find out. Can't we use for loop? Yeah, for loop and all we will see. Yeah, for loop we can use it with data frame, Swarna. I will explain you a little later. Okay, don't worry. Next one is we have some, the locate function is ilocate, and locate function is available. And with locate, how we can access the specific records. See, the whole idea is how do we subset the data. In the real time scenario, we don't use the entire data set all the time, right? And also we don't use all the columns to perform the analytics, right? We wanted to view only the specific columns. In that case, How to slice the subset of the columns and subset of the records, we will take a look at it. Okay. We have something like dot locate and locate operator is available. Dot locate function and dot ilocate functions are available to slice the data. Okay. For example, if you want to access specific rows, how do we do that? Okay. Using df dot locate also we can do that. Using df dot ilocate also we can do that. But let me check if okay, let me do one thing. Ilocate integer locate. Okay, here I want to select rows, for example. Okay, first let me check 0, 3, 5 with rows. Is it possible? Yeah, I think the latest version they removed too many indexes. Sorry, here inside the parenthesis, you need to specify one more parenthesis. I locate 0, 3, 5. Yeah, it is possible. I locate is available. Integer locate. See, if you view the data set, right? If you view the data set, the first one, you can see the row ID here. Behind the scene, what happens is the pandas data frame consists of some row number. See, ideally, I should have checked the top 5 records. Usually, I do that. Somehow, I did not do that. So, what I will do is, I will just go here. I'm going to insert another step. Df dot head function. We discussed about this head function. What is this head function does? It gives me the top 5 records from my given data set. Okay, if you see each and every record, right? Along with that, in the first one, you can see 0, 1, 2. This is called your row ID. Okay, record number or row ID. Just give me a second. Somebody is calling. Mobile battery is getting down. So this is 10135. Supposing I just want to view the zeroth record and the index value. Okay, instead of saying row ID, this is called your index value. Okay, each record is assigned with the Unix index value. The index value starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to view only the record with the index value 0 and 3 and 5. Okay, so 3, 5 is okay. Let me do one thing. 6. Don't display all the records. I just want to take the subset of the records. The records that starts with the index value 0, records that starts with the index value 3 and 5. Using ilocate, using ilocate, we can find out, we can take the subset of the rows from, we can take the subset of any specific rows from the given data frame using ilocate. This ilocate, ilocate stands for integer location. Okay, so find out the rows index value 0, 3, 5 and then display that. And that is the one is done with the help of this one. Okay, basically the square bracket helps us to slice the values. Okay, here what we did, slice the rows 30 comma 0, 3, 5 with slice the rows with the index values 0, 3, 5. Okay, next one is okay, so for any specific rows, with the help of ilocate, I can find out wherever the 0 is there, it goes and picks up 3 and 5, it picks up. Okay, fine. So is there any way I can subset the columns, like subsetting the rows? Can I subset the columns? Yes, that is also possible. The first one is meant for, the first argument is meant for rows, and second one is meant for example, I think we have 18th column. Like each row have a unique index value. Each column also have the unique index value. Though the index value for the columns are not displayed explicitly, you should remember that the row ID start from 0. Okay, and order ID start, the index value is 1. Index value for order date is Okay, let us not take 8 and 18. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say select 1, comma, the sales. Okay, sales, I don't. Okay, customer name, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to see the sixth one, and let's know 8 and 18, right? I just select something randomly. Look here, and here. So in the first command here, we have subsetted the rows. When the second, in this line of code, we were not only subset the rows, but also we were able to subset the columns. I don't want all the columns. I want only the 4. But in this case, you should be knowing the index values explicitly. Okay, without that, it is not possible. But we have some function that is available to find out the location of each column. Okay, that we will see it little later. So now we will explore. We understood. Okay, here I'll just write what is this one. Okay, rows index value is 3, 5, and column index values. Value 1, 6, 8, 18. Here, what is the syntax here? The syntax here is df.ilocate, and here you need to specify the list of columns, comma rows. This is how you can specify it here. Okay. And okay, her question is, Swarna's question is like in list, can't I use range here? Yes, you can use range also. But when you use range, obviously, it will select the values in the sequential manner. For example, df.ilocate. And here I just want to see the 0, 3, 5 rows. But I want to view only the range of values. Here, the range of values, you can say something like 0 to 6 columns. Display the column starts, this column index starts with 0 to 6. But with this range, you cannot select specific columns. But with this option, you can select the specific columns. But with this, you can specify the sequence of columns. If you know very well, starting from the index value 0 of the column to till the 6th column. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right? The start in the case of range, just before the colon, the starting value of the index you need to specify, followed by the colon, you need to specify the end index value -1, right? So in this case, 5 columns displayed. Okay, and 3 rows, 0, 3, 5 rows. The index values for the rows 0, 3, 5, and then the index values for the columns starting from 0 to 6 continuously displayed. If you want you don't want all the columns, but you want to select only the display only the specific column, then you need to specify this one. But the idea here is the first one is the rows 0, 3, 5. List of columns you need to specify it in a list of rows you need to specify it in a square bracket. If you want to select more than one row, square bracket. Okay, her question is there any way like columns? Can I select the range of rows? Yes, that is also possible. 0. Okay, you don't have to give. In the case of range, I think you don't have to specify the square bracket. You need to remember that. Okay. But if you wanted to select a specific rows, specific columns, you need to specify the list of index values for the rows in a square bracket. List of column, column index, you need to specify it in a square bracket. But range, it doesn't require, because it's a sequential value, right? So in that case, you don't need a square bracket. Okay, now, okay, I just df.ilocate, and if I say colon 2, comma 1 colon, what will it display? All of you, please type it in the chat window. We discussed this in detail in list, right? What is it going to display? I don't want the data. Tell me what index values it will select. Yes, you are correct. Swarna, you are correct. How about others? Shri, you are correct. Shri is correct, and Swarna is correct. Saraswati, you are correct. Praveen, you are correct. How about others? So, what is the output of this one? So, guys, I uploaded all the videos. Now everything is available. Don't tell me I did not upload anything. I uploaded all the videos. And what is the output? Tell me, because we discussed in depth. See, attending the classes, everything is fine regularly. But are you up to date from your side? You are the one taking up the interview. So, what is this one? Sorry, the I locate. There is a mistake here. I locate colon 2 comma 1 comma 1. So what did I say? Refer this one, columns comma rows, right? What will it do here? See, in the status call, customer will not talk. You are the one supposed to talk, guys. So I meant, it's not for senior people. So, senior people, please bear with me, okay? Juniors, freshers, please remember this. You need to talk. What is this? What is this? What is the output it will give? So colon 2, if I give, what does that mean? So just before colon, what will be there? So that is the reason why I request everyone to join the session here. Even after joining the session, I don't see any response, right? Do Googling, na? Yeah. So just before colon 2, you have 0 here, right? 0 colon 2. Yes. So 1 colon means what is that? Second column. What is the second column here? Order ID, right? Order ID to till the. See, the index value for row dot ID is 0. Index value, like each row, we have unique index value starting from 0, 1, 2, 3. For each column also, the index value start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I say colon 2 means starting from the first one is talking about the rows. Display, the 3 rows, 0, 1, 2. And 1 is, what is the 1? Starting from the first column to till the end, display it. But it will display only the, how many rows? 0, 1, 2 or 0, 1 only, 1 only, right? So if I give the range, what happens? 0 colon 2 means 0 colon 1 only, literally. Because start colon end minus 1. So the index value minus 1 here, right? So that means 0, 1, 0, 1. Integer values 0, 1 only. But we have some other function locate, using which also we can slice the data. I'll put the same thing here so that you can understand the functionality of the locate function also. Df dot, okay, here you cannot specify the index value just like this. Yeah, you can specify this one, df dot locate, right? Df dot locate, yeah, you need to specify the column name explicitly here, okay? When you use the locate, that is one challenge here. Df dot locate. Just give me a second. I'm finding difficulty in sitting here. Here I don't have a table. For example, if I want to display the values, yeah, I'll just say comma. I can specify the column name explicitly here. For example, city. Instead of specifying the index value, city sales. Each city, what is the sales? Okay. And here, followed by that, I'm going to specify this one. I'm going to execute this one. Look here, 0, 1, 2. So in this case, what is happening here? Let me do one thing. Here order ID. I'll just specify order underscore ID. Colon. If you specify that, no, here it is not working. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just leave it with city and sales. Using df.ilocate also we can subset the rows and subset the columns. And using df.locate also we can subset the rows. Okay, what I will do is to match with this, I'm going to put the same thing with ilocate. City and sales 8,18, right? City is 8th location. And here we need to specify the index value 8 and 18. 18th index points to the sales column. What is the difference between these two? ilocate and locate function. The ilocate and locate, using which you can subset the rows and subset the columns. What exact the difference between these? But the index values are same, right? When it comes to rows, the first one is before the comma is related to rows. Before the comma is related to the rows, followed by the comma columns. But in the case of ilocate, followed by the comma, you need to specify the index value for the columns. Whereas in the case of locate, you need to specify the column name explicitly. But this is more helpful in the real world scenario. The reason is, later point in time, after a week or after a month, when you open the notepad and if you see this one, you will get a quick clarity, right? What is city and sales? But here, or in the later point, when you add an additional column in between, somewhere here, the index value will get changed. For example, between city and sales, if I add another column here, obviously it will not display the sales. Instead, it will display some other column, the newly added column. Okay, it is not that dynamic. Whereas this is very dynamic. You are specifying it directly, but you should be knowing it, the functionality of ilocate and locate. There are some situations ilocate also helpful. But what is the difference? The index values are same, but here in the columns, before comma, it talks about rows. Here also before comma, it talks about the range of rows 0 to 2, right? The index values for the rows display it, and after comma, the index value for the columns we specified it, and here we specify the column name directly. But if you look at the rows part, colon to colon 2, but here it literally goes by the 0 colon 2. If you don't specify anything before colon, that means 0. Okay, followed by the colon, if you specify whatever the index value is, one will get subtracted in the case of ilocate, whereas in the case of locate, look here, the end value is not getting subtracted. 0, 1, 2. Colon 2 means 0 colon, starting from 0th index to till second index. It is something like label based search. This is integer based search. You need to remember this. ilocate is integer based search. This is label based search. Label based search. Got it? Label based search. So in this case, literally it goes and checks where 0 is there, where 1 is there, where 2 is there. But whereas here, it applies the rule. Start row, index value, colon, end index value minus 1. It subtracts the 1 there. That is the difference between these two. You need to be aware of this one. Okay, this is very much important. And okay, our question is there any way can I use the index value in the column? No, you cannot use the index value in the case of label based searching. Locate, you cannot use the index value for the columns. You have to use the column name. Mm. Yes, Varna, you are correct. So I locate is difficult to find out. Yes. The column in the case of less number of columns, it is fine. If you have more number of columns, more number of rows, rows is fine, but more number of columns, you need to go and search the column names, columns index values. Manually, you need to calculate it, right? Okay. So yes, there is a function using which you can display the this one, the location of the column. For example, simple thing, if you say df.info, is that what your question? See here, df.info function is available. With that, you can go and check what is the index value for row right ID 0, and city is 8, and sales is 18. This is how you can find out df.info. Okay. Oh, you mean to say the 0? No, no. Here you cannot specify 0 and all. Okay. Even if you specify 0, it is not displaying the thing. Okay. So using df.info, this is one way you can find out the index value, and then you can use that index value in the columns part. The just before comma is rows, and after comma you can specify the column index values. Whatever you specify followed by the comma is for column index values. Are you able to understand so far? I can see that already 6 people responded. How about rest of you? Are you able to follow me or not? If you are not following it, guys, you will not be able to. If you don't concentrate here, you will not be able to hear. I know senior people, they have some calls till weekends also we are working. But how about junior people? Are you concentrating here or not? Okay, next one is we learned about how to select specific rows, how to select only specific column. This is called subsetting. I don't want to see all the rows, all the columns. How do I see only specific rows? How do I see the specific column? This is called subsetting. Okay, based on some condition, can I subset the data? Fine. So we can use df.look. Since df dot the locate based search loc based search is a label based one. Hence, and also in the column, we can specify the column name itself. Hence, it really makes more sense. Even if you add any columns in between these two, or in between any columns, if you are see obviously just before city, if you add some other column, what will happen? That column will become the index for that column will become 8, right? So in that, let's say you just before city you have added states column, state. In that case, if you add a state now, what will happen? The eighth column index now points to state. Instead of displaying city, it will give you the state. So if it is not dynamic, instead you specify the column name directly. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll start, but you should be knowing what is ilocate and integer based location search and label based location also you should be knowing it. That's why I explained you this one. Okay, now what I am going to do is, since she has asked this question, is any based on some condition, can we filter the data now? Okay, filter rows and columns. See, in this case, rows we are hard coding it, right? 0:2, starting from 0th index to second index, all the rows you display it. But this is not all the time is helpful based on some condition. For example, quantity is greater than 10. So those invoices we sold more than 10 units. Why greater than is not working? Here you just display the city comma sales. And here, yes. So here in the rows, just before comma, it is a row, right? Rows. In the case of row, we can put some condition also, expression. So in the rows, we can put some expression. And here I just say, yes, we can see that. Yeah, we wanted to refer that one also, quantity, right? I just put the quantity also here. For testing purpose, we will put the quantity column also here. Look here, all the quantities are more than 10, right? Yes, everything is more than 10. We don't see 10 here. So now based on some condition, we are able to extract the rows from this one. Okay. If I wanted to extract based on some column name alone, how can I do that? For example, the display only the cities. For example, we have something called city like Aberdeen. We have a city like Aberdeen. So here, what I do is, yeah, here you can put it directly here. So now you can put it directly here. Okay. For example, here DF city is equivalent to Aberdeen. Aberdeen. I think there is a city by the name of Aberdeen is there. Here you can put inside the square bracket. You need to put city, comma sales. I think double equal sign. In the case of cities, oh sorry, the city is single quote, right? You need to specify the column name in a quote. Okay, all the Aberdeen related sales, we can see it. Yes, we'll discuss that also. Now, she's question is there any way I can sort the data in descending order? Yes, that is also possible. So now you understood how to filter the data. In the rows section itself, we can filter the data. Okay. And then display only these columns, not all the columns. But if you remove this, what will happen? All the columns related to Aberdeen transaction will get displayed. We don't want all the columns. We want to only see the city and sales in Aberdeen. We want to see that. So this is the one is very much helpful. And for example, yeah, even in this case, right, you don't want to see everything. Okay, I just take this condition. You can use add function. Is this what you want to see, right? Yeah, you can give it a try. Give it a 3. We don't display the transactions related to Aberdeen or the quantities more than 10. Just display the first 3 records. This is enough. Fine. So next one is you want to see the data in descending order, ascending or descending order, right? Here, what we do is we have something called sort values. Mm, so where do I need to use these sort values? Okay, here what I am going to do is here comma greater than 0. That is the condition, and the next one is the column name, and then followed by that we have something called sort underscore values. Underscore values, and this is a function. Okay, by we need to specify by let's say here the sales. I just say sales and column name, comma x is equal to 0. What is x is equal to 0? X is equal to 0 is meant for rows and 1 is for columns. Okay, you need to remember this one. Ascending or descending, or ascending equal to false. Ascending equal to false. So display all the records, all the transactions where we sold more than 10 units, and display these 3 columns, but display the sales column in descending order. Okay, x is equal to 0. You need to specify it. Let me say unexpected end of file. End of file means there is something wrong. I did not close it properly. Yeah, by sort values by thing here, and okay, ascending values here, ascending equal to false. Okay, city quantity sales. What I will do is I will put it in a separate thing here, everything. Okay, I will. This one is to close the outer one, right? And sort values. The output of that. Yes, correct. See here what happened. So this one is related to this one. First, filter the records where the unit sold, which is nothing but the quantity is greater than 10, and display the values for this condition only for these three columns. That one will display that. Followed by that, I'm going to use another dot, sort values by equal to sales. You need to use by here. You can specify more than one column also. Okay, if you want to specify more than one column, you can specify that also. And here the city, everything, right? Yeah. So here, if you want to specify, or you want to have the city in ascending and that one is in descending, probably you can try it out. Okay, that you can try it out. Yes. Right. So now you understood, right? So how to subset the rows and columns, we have seen it using locate function and ilocate function. And we decided locate function is the one very much helpful because as we add additional columns in between in the data frame, obviously the index value will get changed. In that kind of situation, it will not display the correct thing. But best thing is you can use the column name instead of the index values in the columns section, right? Followed by the comma. You can use it. How to subset the data based on some condition. So, right, we have filtered this data set using city equal to Aberdeen. And here we have filtered the data set, based on quantities greater than 10. Yeah, the rest of the things are same. Okay, so okay, next one is as part of data exploration, what we do is right. So this is the kind of, let's say you are working with Walmart or some large retail, and you want to do some kind of interactive analysis, right? You are doing this way. Okay, you explore the data, and you saw in so and so TT we sold more than 10 quantity, fine, and we displayed the data in ascending order, and we just check it. Is that in ascending order? Yes. The sales we can see that 9892 and sales 99 point. No, it is not displaying it in the ascending or descending equal. Let me just see that descending equal to true. It was, if it doesn't throw any error, that doesn't mean our logic is correct. Still, you need to check the data. Descending, we don't have something like descending. Ascending equal to false. By default, it is ascending. 99.51, 989,002, right? In that case, it is correct. Okay, let me do one thing. Values by city. Sorry, I just in this case, you need to put the city in ascending order and sales in descending order. Okay, so you need to try that way. But here we first started with the sales only, but it is not giving the correct one. I'll just check again. Okay, here the sales, right? Okay. Here, if I give city, comma sales, yeah, now it is displaying in ascending order, and city is in ascending order. Within this, the sales is in descending order, right? Yeah. But the within the Aberdeen city, display all the values. Okay, the same thing. Okay, I'll just show you. See, I'll just break it here, the logic. You can try the combination. Sorry, not that one. And this one, Aberdeen city alone. So no, it's not getting copied. Okay, dot sort underscore values by is equivalent to sales, and ascending x is equal to, you need to specify this one, x is equal to 0. 0 means, remember this 0 is for rows. This is very important in pandas. And 1 is for columns. Okay. So in this case, we want to sort the data in by rows. Okay. Not by columns. X is 0. And here ascending is equal to false. Default one is true. Keyword ascending. Yes, it is displaying it correctly. Within the Aberdeen city, display the transaction descending order based on the sales column. Okay, this is possible. Now the question is, within each city, display all the cities. Display all the cities. Okay, and in ascending order, sales in descending order. How can you do that? How can you do that? Here I just filtered it based on the Aberdeen city, right? We want all the records, but look here. Here we want all the records. We don't want to do any filtering here. Here we don't want any filtering. That means, if I specify colon, that means all the records, display all the records only for city and sales column, and the sort the values in sales thing, descending order. It is doing it correctly. Okay, but here the city is displaying in some random way, right? We wanted to display the city in ascending order, but sales column in descending. This is an assignment for you all. Okay, this is an assignment. Okay, and I want the city column to be displayed in ascending order. And the sales, so sales is correctly now it is doing it, but city is supposed to be in ascending. How can you do that? How can you do that? So that is the one, you give it a try. Fine. So that is an assignment for you. The next one is common data exploration task, like are there any blank values are there? Any null values are in the data set? df dot is null function is available, comma sum dot sum. If you give like this, df dot is null is a function in this specify like is null dot sum. So if you scroll down here, no, we don't see any blank values except postal code and sales column. Postal code is also important, isn't it? Without having the postal code, how can you deliver the goods to the customers? And sales is also important column. How come the sales column can have missing values? With the is null function, with the combination of is null and sum function, we are able to find out how many number of missing values are there in each column. We can find out. So with that itself, the first and foremost thing, right? You need to check this one. So whether all the data, all the columns have data in it, and any duplicate records are there. You need to check it out. These are the common thing that we do it. So how do you find out the duplicate records in Pandas? Here's something called duplicate function. Okay. So df dot duplicate function. Okay. These are the common check. You need to do it at the very beginning itself. Df dot, if you give duplicate function, it will give you, it will not give you any output. uh Duplicated, df dot duplicated. Okay, it's not duplicate. Df, it gives you false, true or false. What I do is I will put this inside the df. So in this case, what will happen is the df data frame square bracket duplicated. Only if it returns true, that records will be written. So look here, these are the records got duplicate. This record is duplicated. We have a duplicate record. How do we remove a duplicate record? The next question is, how do I remove the duplicate? So we have something called df dot we have a drop duplicates and here drop duplicates. And what we do is, see, duplicates, if there is a duplicate, let it be there. But I don't want to have a duplicate in a specific column. The combination of specific column, I'm not supposed to. For example, city and segment column is very important. Okay, city and segment column, if I have duplicates, for example, okay, dot comma in place equal to true. I'll explain you what. See, there are certain things you need to remember it, and keep equal to last. This one removed the duplicate records for the city and segment, but it retained the last record. Okay, something like that. See, what do you mean by keep last in place equal to true? If I specify in place equal to true, it will permanently delete the duplicate records. For example, in city Aberdeen and segment, I have something called the home sales, sorry, we have something called direct customer, right? Direct segment or home customer. Okay, home office segment. In Aberdeen, only one record should be there. If I have more than one record in Aberdeen city, then you need to remove that. That is called duplicate. Remove that duplicate record. But while removing it, remove the last one. What do you mean by last one? Sorry, what do you mean by last one? I'll just, I don't have the stylus pen with me. I'll just write it down in the notepad. So in the interview, they'll ask you all these questions. The duplicate and all, okay, data cleaning and all. They'll ask you this one. For example, I have something called Aberdeen. Or the simple example is order ID, comma, customer ID. Okay, customer ID. Order ID is 1000, and customer ID is 101. This is my order master table. Okay, order lookup table. It's not a transaction table, order lookup table. In the order lookup table, for each customer, only one order will be there. Okay, the combination. For example, 101 is Rajesh. You just think that Anwar. 101 customer ID is Anwar. He ordered the product in the past, and his order ID is 1000. And again, he ordered later point time. His order ID was 1008. His recent, his customer ID remains same. But the same order ID should not get, with the combination of these two, it should not be there. So in this case, order ID, customer ID column, these two are business column, key columns. This should not have duplicates. 1008 order ID, comma, same customer should not repeat in the case of order lookup or order master table. Here's something called master table and transaction table. What we are looking at in our notepad currently is transaction table. This is one classic example in the master order master table or lookup table. Lookup table is also called the master table. The master table, if you have, these two are composite key, order ID and customer ID. The combination of these two only you can uniquely identify a record. With this combination, if you find duplicate records, then you need to eliminate it. Otherwise, it will cause confusion. Okay. So each customer should have a unique order ID. The same order ID should not repeat more than once for the same customer ID. So in that kind of situation, how can I? Okay, now the question is, what is duplicate? Now you understood. For example, if I have the same record here, that means it is a duplicate. Right? This record should be deleted, but I have two records are there. Which record? So this is a duplicate record, but two records are there. Maybe you have three records. Three duplicate values can also be there, right? Let's assume that we have only one duplicate record is there. But in total, we have two records are there. In the two records, which one should I here? What is that? Keep. Yeah. In the two records, which record should I delete it? Which record should I keep it? So keep equal to last means keep the last record and remove the first one. This one you remove it, keep the last one. And keep equal to first is there. So of these two duplicate records, keep the of these two duplicate records, keep the first record, second record, you remove it. So now you understood what is keep first and keep last. So all these things you can create a test data set and practice it. Okay. I explained everything in detail, but in the real world scenario, once you get into a project, no one will explain anything, nothing. You will not get any help. I'll put it in writing. Customer will give you one document. That too, they'll share the link. You need to download the document, understand where the data is there. That's all. They will not explain all the things, but you can ask them. Still, you can ask them. So we found some duplicate records. Of these two duplicate records, which one can I keep it? Which one can I remove it? Again, they'll ask you, why don't you suggest? You are an experienced person. Why are you asking me this question? Why don't you suggest? Come with the problem and solution also. Don't come with only problem. Come with solution also. That is what they expect you. Okay. Logically, you need to look at it, and then you need to see which one you need to keep it, which one you need to remove it. Now the question is, what kind of scenario can I keep the last? What kind of scenario can I keep the first? It depends on the customer. Okay. That one, I have another scenario, but if I tell you, you will get confused at this moment. But at this moment, you understand what this one is all about. Keep equal to last. Listen, we have two records are there. Ideally, we are supposed to have single record. But of the two records, which one should I keep? Last record, you keep it. That means the previous record, first record, you remove it. Okay, that is what it tells. What is in place equal to true? By default, it is false. But if you give in place equal to true, it will make it permanent. In your data frame, so far, whatever you removed the duplicate records. And for example, okay, and we have not yet removed it. Okay, I'll show you how to remove it. Drop duplicates, using which we can drop it. And here subset equal to city segment. Okay, what I'll do is, okay, 1 second. I will just so not that one, sorry. You can, I just remove this one. If you don't want based on some columns, right? If you find literally duplicate records, very well order ID. I know all the records are repeated more than once. Then you can give this one, okay? But even in this, you have option. You can keep the last record, first record, and remove it, something like that, okay? Based on columns only, you want to remove the duplicates. Duplicate can be there, but these columns should not have duplicates, right? In that kind of situation, you can give. So I have given you two scenarios. This one gives you simply this one, right? Duplicate record is there, fine. I want to remove the duplicate records, but of the duplicated records, which one should I keep it? Which one should I remove it? Keep the last one, and the first one you remove it. Whereas here, using drop duplicates, here also we are removing the duplicate records, but based on the combination of these two columns. In this column, if you have any duplicates, for example, Aberdeen home segment is there. Again, Aberdeen home segment should not be there. But that is not the right example. But the other classic example is, for example, I have given you this one, right? The order ID and customer ID. This is the classic example. Here, order ID and customer ID. In the case of, let's say, order lookup table, in that kind of situation, you're not supposed to have the combination of order ID and customer ID. You're not supposed to have duplicates. So if you find duplicates in that, you can remove that. But again, I have another condition. So remove the first record, keep the last one. In place equal to make this changes permanent to my data frame. If you don't give this one, it will not drop the duplicate record permanently. Okay, that is what it will tell us. Now I just go and check whether I have duplicate record. Even after deleting the, do I have any duplicate records? We don't have it, right? Very good. So we have in place equal to true has been given. But if you give by default, it is false. If you don't enable true here, still you will find the duplicate records. And don't get confused that, it is not removing it. This command is not working. And you need to specify explicitly in place equal to true, only then it will remove the duplicate record permanently. Okay. So now the question is, why the hell do I need to use in place equal to true? It should do it implicitly. Why should I specify it explicitly? The reason is, for example, I just go up. See, if I make one mistake or one change permanently, right? Again, I need to read the data here. Again, you need to reload. See, in the real world scenario, let's assume that this data set has 25 million records. If you load it again, if you execute it, even in this case, look here, the star is there. That means being executed. But 25 million records, it will take a hell lot of time. That's the reason why you need to be very cautious before you delete any duplicate records. In that kind of situation, this in place equal to false default one is very much helpful. How? I'll just show you now. Still, I want this file to be loaded again. Only when it loads, it will have duplicate, right? We deleted the duplicate records. Let it read and load it there. So all these are important point. The real-time scenario only I'm talking. Okay. You need to remember this. All these things you cannot find it in Google or in the YouTube comprehensively. Okay, it has got loaded. Now what I do is I just go back directly here. Here, look here. I just give false, but default one is, okay, for example, instead of df dot duplicate, right? This is the one we'll execute it. First to check duplicate record. Yes, we have a duplicate record is there. And what we need to do is we need to remove this one. If I remove, how many records will get deleted? To know that, this command is, the false is very much helpful. In place, by default, it is false. Okay. You don't have to give it explicitly. And if I say here, right, head equal to 2 or something like that. Look here. If I, before I drop the duplicate record, if I want to find out, the display the two records, right? So not head to duplicate records. In place equal to false. Okay. And Okay, let me do one thing. I just go here and duplicate it. This is the one duplicated, right? So the row ID 32298. So we will just go and check this one. I forgot that command. One second. Here, df row dot id is equal to 3T2 3229 32298. Sorry, here. So here, okay, one second. I used other thing, right? Other thing. Here, df dot locate column name, correct only. But here you need to specify df dot locate inside the square bracket. Again, you need to specify the data frame name. Row dot id equal to invalid syntax is equivalent to 32298. Is that a numeric column or okay? Yeah, it is displaying it correctly. Correct. Now, if you query this one, we can see that two records are same record, right? df locate. That is the reason why the df dot duplicate function return this one as a duplicate record. This record has duplicated. Okay, forget about the first one. This is index value. Okay, index value is assigned by the pandas data frame. The index value should not be considered as a data. Okay, except the index value, rest of them are data. All the values are matching, right? So we have a duplicate record. So that one, we want to say, okay, duplicated this record. How many records are there like this? So by querying this, we can see this way. So I don't know why Formita, dropped and other people dropped. Guys, this is real-time scenario, real experience. After you join the job, you will really realize, how painful this one. They will run after you every 2 hours, the managers. Completed. Fine. Okay. So now I wanted to, yeah, so this is the one, right? So df dot drop duplicate. So I want to show you what is the advantage of in place equal to false. But in this case, yeah, but best thing is you can just check this way. Okay. In place equal to false, it will not remove the duplicates. For example, if I click on it, it will still, the drop duplicates in, it shows something like this. In place equal to, it will not remove the duplicates. Okay. But any of this one, I will show you in place equal to true. I have another example that I will show you, that time you'll be able to understand. Okay. If I drop the duplicate records, how many number of records I'm going to left with it? That is what it tells. Okay. So how do you find out how many number of, I think n rows, df dot, look here, df dot n rows, right? Sorry, df dot rows, rows. Mhm. So we wanted to basically find out how many number of records in the data set. Okay. N rows, I think. அது Manoj, how do you find out the number of rows in this one? Shape function, right? Yes. Shape function you can see. Yes. Shape. We have something called shape function. Shape function, it shows us 26 records. Now what I do is, with this, I'm going to say shape. If I give shape, see 25,001 is the rows and 26 columns are there. If you specify df.shape, it will give you how many. Ideally, I should have checked it at the very first time itself. Okay, how many number of records, how many number of columns are there in the data frame. Okay, and now if I give only the one, so this is index, right? Index will give you the, sorry, 0 will give you the first rows only. I don't need the columns, only rows. Okay, out of 25,001, if I remove duplicate record, how many records am I going to left with it? Let us see. Yes, look here. So for this, this is what I was trying to do. In place equal to false. Is very much helpful. Before you drop the duplicate, if you use this one, in place equal to false, in drop duplicates, if I drop a duplicate record, how much more records I'm going to left with it? Out of 25,001, you are going to left with 25,000. Actually, this is not going to remove the duplicate records. Before even removing the duplicate records, if I wanted to know if I remove the duplicate records, how many records I'm going to left with, in that kind of situation, this is very much helpful. And if I enable for true here, now if true here, it will remove the one duplicate record per, but it will remove the shape equal to 0. Am I audible to you all? I think must be audio. No. Yeah, I think I'm audible. Right. So if I give true here, this one remove it permanently. This is, you are smart, right? You wanted to be smart before even removing the duplicate record. I wanted to know if I use this command, how many records will get deleted? How many records am I going to have it in my hand? 25,000 records you are going to have it. You know very well, 25,001 record is there. One record will get deleted. You are left with, you are going to have only 25,000. And then if you go and actionize it, in place equal to true, it will remove the record permanently. And then if you give the df.shape equal to 0, it will give you 25,000 only. Instead of giving 25,001, it will give you 25,000. You understood or not? This is something like in database, you have something called commit, which one in place equal to true is similar to your database commit. Okay, this is not the commit. Okay, this kind of a, you can roll back it. So it's not roll back. Before you commit the changes, you wanted to see if I commit it, how much am I going to get it? That is what it shows. Okay, guys, as Shri and others mentioned, I'm going to wrap up the session now. And I know you are exhausted. Tomorrow we'll continue some more thing in data frame. And yeah, pandas, we have more things, joins and reshaping the data, everything we will see tomorrow. Okay. So with this, I'm going to wrap up. You have any questions? Okay, Swarna says, sir, so far I did not receive the script files. Yes. This Monday, I will see, this Monday is also holiday. I'll be traveling back to Chennai. So what on Tuesday, we'll make sure that at any cost, you'll be receiving all the script file, whatever I covered so far in Python. Okay. You can count on. Okay. Fine. Yes, the videos will upload, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow noon you will get to see that. But tomorrow session you will be able to see on Monday night only. But Tuesday you will be able to see this weekend, until this weekend, whatever I covered, everything already we have uploaded. Okay, up to date, all the videos we uploaded it. So this weekend you can see this Tuesday morning. Okay. Okay, since you don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap up the session.